Let's see.
Let's see. All right, colleagues, thank you very much.
30 at least.
In that case, there are other journalists who are not given opportunity to ask. They go on for 2 minutes with their question. Are we okay there? Television, good. Mr. Ramara? Good, thank you, sir. We are now previewing the next. UTV as well. Prime Sports. Are we okay? Prime Sports with Masati Patel.
And SK News.
SK News.
Not even.
You start with this hype and laughter on every coach.
Yeah, I do. I try. With some coaches, it's a bit difficult.
With some coaches, it starts with a language disclaimer.
Yeah, with some coaches, I have to say, this language. All right. Let me just maybe hand it over to you guys to ask, all the questions in the interest of time. So let's see the show of hands. Katebo, I think this was the first one.
Yes, too.
Let's give him a chance. Yasana, you'll be next. Robin Juka also noted. Sorry. You fine? Okay. Thank you.
Coach, another win yesterday. Coach, maybe we talk a lot about your team, the character and stuff like that, but I want to ask, what has this period taught you about the team that you said that maybe you didn't know before? I mean, this period has been a tough one. Maybe perhaps from our side, not playing exactly like you did in the first half of the season, but still getting results. What has it taught you about the team that you previously didn't know?
Yeah, let me start by greeting members of the media. Good afternoon to everybody, ladies and gentlemen. And also to thank you for your patience. No. I think maybe 2 seasons ago, some of these games we would have lost. I think for sure the Spurs game, maybe 2 seasons ago, we would have lost it or drawn it. It reminded me of a game we played against Stellenbosch maybe 2 seasons ago, where we drew 1-1. We equalized very late with a penalty, I think, with Super Mule fouling, if I'm not mistaken. The conditions, the pitch, the rain. I think this team now has developed a lot of character. We bleed. Sometimes we bleed a lot around the box. But I think we cover up our wounds very, very quickly this season, and maybe even at this point in time in the season, it's not easy to play 3 matches in 7 days. And also the character, the mentality, the personality of the team. Yesterday I was very happy with the first half performance. I thought we were very, very good yesterday in the first half. But then we suffered a little bit in the second half, of course, because also the opponent is playing for something, trying to save their place of status. So you can't dominate the game forever. But I'm happy that we're showing a lot of character and desire in the games. And as I said even after the game, without even having the exact details, but the first whisper in walking into the change room was, we ran more than we have in the last couple of games. And when I went deeper into it, they told me that we actually did 20 kilometers more than we did in the last game against Yanga. So without a lot of training, without a lot of recovery, the players have put in a big shift. And I'm very happy and very proud of the effort of the players.
Yasana?
Afternoon, Coach.
Afternoon, good brother.
Coach, a few minutes ago before the press conference started, you expressed how tired you are. So how much of the toll is it, not only to the players but to you guys as coaches, having to plan for games in such a short space of time?
It's heavy is the head that carries the crown, isn't it? So we ask for the responsibility the responsibility comes with what it comes with, and so we have to needs must. In the flight, I was actually talking to Coach Michael, and he said to me, "What's your plans for the off season?" I said to him, "Are you really thinking about off season?" He says, "Yeah, but you have to think about these situations and maybe do a club visit in Europe." And I said to him, "You are so far ahead of me. I'm already thinking about the next game, which is TUKS." And already started with the analysis of the flight. A 2-hour flight gives me an opportunity to at least get one game through. And it is what it is, because the players expect information about the performance history tomorrow. They expect some information about the next opponent on Friday. It's a big game for us. We haven't been in this position in a very, very long time, where at this point in the season we're still competing for 3 more trophies. And so we just have to make sure that as the leadership we are on top of our game, and we show the energy and the desire that the players have to breathe off from, and it starts with us. But yeah, needs must, and we just have to give more and more and more towards the season.
Thank you, Coach. Robin Duke of United Karabo.
Coach, one trophy in the bag. Can you just talk about 3 now left? Can you pull this off? How much of will be a true task if you say you pull it off? But is it part of your desire that you want to pull this off? To get 4 trophies are looking to the first time in the PSA either. Someone does that.
Yeah, but who's done it before? As much as we want to do it, and as much as we think about the possibility of doing it, but for sure, it's a very, very difficult task. And you have to think about who has done it before. And I keep saying as a youngster, I was probably not even thinking about coaching at that time, and I remember Mushina took out his cousin Chiefs with the Operation Fatalis. And even they didn't win the league, and they had such a good side, playing such good football. I remember, I think the Confederations Cup was still called the Mandela Cup, if I'm not mistaken. And there was such a good side. But that already tells you how difficult trying to win every single trophy is. And so we have to go game by game and try to establish ourselves in every competition, and put ourselves in the next round of every competition. And we've done that very well at the moment. And so we've got to just continue with a laser focus and with a lot of humility, and also minimize our hearing of the noise. There's a lot of noise, but if we just stay focused on the task at hand, we should be fine.
Alright, keep it moving. Dalmi? Yeah, I've noted 2 of you.
Coach,
How you doing?
there's a difference about this Mamelodi Sundowns side. You mentioned that 2 seasons ago they made that you were last. If there's anything I picked up from what it is that you guys are doing differently, there's a bite about you. I don't want to call it the dirty side of the game, but you give as good as you get. Where does that come from? Because we saw it in the AFL, proved to be the difference. We see players like Themba Zwane, who's such a calm character, stand up and he's in people's faces, he's giving the fight as good as he's getting it. Whereas usually you guys would have tried to be pretty, sit back, take it, and then end up losing because of it. But now, you guys are almost, in Afrikaans we say, you're a sterk man. Where does it come from?
Yeah, I take it as a compliment. I think it's something that I think if you look at all the most successful teams globally, they've always had this side to them. You go to a Manchester United with your Roy Keanes. The Liverpool sides have always had some of these characters, your Jamie Carragher's, and Manchester United with I've spoken about Man United also with your Neville's, and even though you pick players like Rio Ferdinand were not always they're getting dirty type of players, but they were always getting respect that side with Zinedine Zidane that when 3 Champions League titles, you are actually sides that get dirty and maybe not so pretty. Now, Miami at the beginning of the season said my talks are very painful and because I've still got a lot of pain on how we lost the Champions League last season. And even though the pain comes with maybe a good sense of motivation. But I think the biggest lesson I learned was the importance of the away goals in the Champions League. And I said to myself, really right from the beginning, is that if we are to lose a tie, it must not be because we conceded goals. And that is one of the things I worked very, very hard with the technical team and the coaches to try to improve on our side. Is the team, I mean, you can just imagine being the best team on the continent last season, not having lost a game, but then to exit the Champions League, which is a playground that we want to be part of, and we want to be consistently featuring in the semi-finals, quarterfinals. But if you neglect the laws of the game, and at this time, unlike the UEFA Champions League, which we all watch, I mean, yesterday was such a good game between Man City and Real Madrid, and the Sundowns cannot afford to be home in the Champions League and concede 2 goals. It's not possible because of the away goals rule. And that is why I think one of the biggest factors in terms of us becoming a bit miserly at the back and trying to keep clean sheets and not concede goals is perhaps how we lost the Champions League last season. And we know we can't change the laws of the game. But of course we can change how we perform and try to, of course we still want to play the Sundowns way and we still want to be, but we have to continue with what we are doing and one of the big aspects is conceding goals.
Karabo, SK Media.
No.
The level is
Yeah.
No,
the level is
It's dangerous, this is
No.
not even. Good afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon.
Coach, I think, what is exactly is this all about? The relentlessness, puffing up your cheeks, just out in each and every single match. When you finally leave this club, when you Sundowns, what is it that you want to say? I and these boys were able to achieve. This is about, legacies, about, winning, going the entire season without losing a football match. What exactly is this relentlessness about? What do you want to achieve at the end of all of this?
Well, we want to try and leave the jersey better than we found it. The level is very high. Under the previous coach, for sure, the group was extremely, even more relentless than what we are. And we just trying to make sure that we leave this jersey better than we found it. The standard has been set. There's a point study that no one has broken. We tried last season and we fell 1 point short. We haven't won the Champions League yet. We are a club that is trying to entrench ourselves into being one of the best, not just in South Africa, but on the continent too. And we want to be remembered as a group that gave it our all, even in the midst of some of the sacrifices we had to make and some of the sufferings that we had to undergo. At the end of the day, we have to try to serve this club with as much dignity and pride as the supporters carry themselves, for this club. They love this club, and you can feel their passion. And we want to do the best that we can to appease them and to give them what they deserve, and these fans deserve all the happiness that they're undergoing at the moment, and we're going to have to try and to continue that. We're going to have to try to do more and more and more each and every single day. And good is not good enough for this football club. It's a club that wants more, and we have to achieve more, we have to play better, we have to win more, we have to, and that is what we try to do every single day.
Up next is Prime Sports.
Thanks, Coach. Coach, normally in football, where you have this kind of a situation where you have a highly defensive team and a so-called organization team or smaller team, there's a way they always use of a balance scheme, which can be very dangerous if you step on it. Do you see this as a proverbial balance scheme?
Well, for every banana skin, you must eat a banana first. And, so and we try not to eat bananas. And that's the focus we have. Try to respect the opposition. A good side with a very good coach. A coach that's earned his stripes also, because I remember even in my youth days, I would see him at the TUKS training facilities, coaching the juniors, coaching the castle sides, and so he's someone that I've got a lot of respect for because he's earned his stripes. And then they've got a very good side. As I said, just in the plane now, I was watching, and I watched, fortunately, a couple of weeks ago, I watched the game against Swallows, and I said already, and not because it's coached by Musa Nyatama, but Swallows is a team that I enjoy watching, and whenever they're on the screens, I try to watch. And they played very, very well against Swallows. I thought they were really, really very good. I saw today that even though they've got probably Sibanyoni out, they still have some very good attackers. A player like Abrams, who can play on the wing back, on both on the left and the right, and even against Cape Town Spurs, played as a front striker. He's so powerful, so good, left foot, right foot, ambidextrous. Can cause you a lot of problems. They've got some very good wing backs, both on the left and on the right. They deliver the ball very early in the box. Of course, I think that Miss Kamaru was really been important for them, but I think Tabiso Mukwena is the number 12. He's got a lot of experience. You can see that probably the guy that helps them kill off the attacks of the opposition, maybe even give a pass to players like Samuel Julius. I know Promise won't be playing, but was very important for them. And then the back three, the back three is very experienced. I saw some, Mashangu for an example, Harold on left centre back is so important for them. And so, and then the Namibian goalkeeper who was at AFCON now, good experience, keeps them in a lot of the games. And so good team, and one will go with a lot of respect because we want to see ourselves in the semi-final of this competition. But to do that, we've got to work very, very hard, and we started our analysis of the opposition, very strong on the transition, very strong on second balls, very strong on direct attacks, and putting pressure around the box. But one of the things that I comforted myself with was that we played a team that played a little bit of a similar formation and a little bit of a similar approach in Cape Town Spurs just yesterday, and it was a good dress rehearsal for us because we went to meet very strong direct balls, second balls, dealing with the pressure around our box and set pieces. We're going to have to be very, very strong in those aspects on Friday.
Okay, let's go to Mr. Ramande from the SCBC.
It's 15 minutes. It's not my,
no, even in extra time, there's
extra
added time.
Let's go for it. As long as we don't concede or score.
Okay.
Yeah, Coach,
Yes,
you've
sir.
already spoken about a lot of noise that is coming your way, and as a club, you're trying to ignore that. Are you specifically referring to the refereeing decisions that people have said, favored you in the past 2 games? I'm not sure.
No, I can't, because there's a lot that's said about Sundowns, and I fortunately have, I've done it before in the past. I've gone on a social media sabbatical, so I don't know what is being said about who and how. I just watch the games. I can tell you that my opinions are that the decisions were right, and those are just my opinions. I am not an official ref, but of course these are the things that happen in football. We lost in the MTN 8 final because of some decisions that I thought were not fair on us. But that's football, these things even themselves out. I think at the end of the day, you win some, you lose some, and that's, I think, the nature of sport and football.